Hello everyone, Genome here with the first episode of Genome Presents. In my interview series, I want to give viewers a glimpse into the lives of everyday people who do extraordinary things. In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to Jack and Sally Facente, owner-operator of AGRITOXINS. Inside this rather nondescript building you see behind me here are housed some of the most potentially dangerous creatures in the state of Florida. Let's go inside and find out what Jack does on a daily basis and find out a little about the man that literally takes his life into his own hands every day. I hope that you enjoy.
Alright, what we're looking at here these are just snakes that we brought in to do various breeding projects with. We've got some white speckled rattlesnakes from Arizona, pygmy rattlesnakes, a little cottonmouth, and as we come over here, Arizona black rattlesnake, blacktail, Mexican green, Saharan rock, puff adder, another Arizona black, red diamondbacks, albino diamondbacks, copperheads, some more speckled rattlesnakes we're breeding up here. We'll come around here to some of the assorted equipment we use, the snake hooks, etc. Cleaning tray, and then this big rack here is for some of the larger snakes. This one here, for example, is where some of the larger diamondbacks are kept. This is an eastern diamondback, which is found here in our local area. And he is all the way to the back. Feeling very confident that he's hidden and protected. And there he is, sort of in his natural pose, just relaxing, watching, and not jumping out, not trying to bite us. He doesn't feel threatened yet. And as long as that's the case, they just remain very still and silent. And then as we come around to here, this is the feeding apparatus we use to actually force feed the snake where the catheter is inserted into the snake's stomach. We do that only for the coral snakes. Every now and again we'll get another type of snake that may be reluctant to feed, and after a period of weeks or maybe months where they don't feed, we can hit them with this and give them some nutrition. But the goal there would be to get those animals feeding. Coral snakes feed on other snakes in the wild, and it's not practical to bring in 200-300 snakes a month to feed these snakes. Plus you got to put it in, you got to set them up. It's quite tedious as it is, but the way we have this set up to do the capture, the extraction, and the feeding, and then back in the cage is works out the best way for the animal and the handler. That's it in a nutshell. Down here, that's the condos that we refer to, or rack system that the coral snakes are kept in. And just like the larger rack that you just looked at behind us here where the eastern diamondback was, this is a smaller version. As the snakes get larger, we move them into the next graduated size of racks.
Okay, Jack has been so kind to let us view an extraction today.
That's about, that's the extraction that we just did from one snake. By the way, that was extracted from 4 days ago. And there you can see the yield of approximately 1/10 of a milliliter. These average a little bit more than that on the average. If you converted the milliliter, which is a liquid volume or liquid quantity, into a dry weight of milligrams, they average about 5, maybe 5.5 to 6 milligrams per bite. Some of the bigger ones can do as much as 12 to 15 milligrams. There have been recorded measurements of 25 plus milligrams. I'm not seeing that here. I would say the average is probably maybe 5 or 6, and we don't know, by true experimentation what a dose that would be lethal to a 140-pound human would be, because nobody's ever done that on a human. But it's estimated to be approximately, they think maybe 4 to 5 milligrams could be a lethal dose. So you can easily get a lethal dose in a bite. It is a very slow-acting venom, and we can get more into that as we talk later.
Okay, let me zoom. Okay.
Okay.
Beautiful. All right.
Did you get a little bump on the head?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a good thing to show people. She didn't see it.
Okay, here we have a diagram, if you will, of the flow of product and how venom impacts you, your family. This is the general public up here, and down here is the foundation that is required to affect the general public. And the way this works is the venom production laboratories here in the middle, 100% of the anti-venom that is made comes from venom from Florida, from these 3 laboratories, 100%. 50% of the venom used to make antivenom for the whole United States comes from these 2 laboratories, MedToxin and Biotoxin. So these laboratories are supported by this structure down here, which is the Fish and Game that do the laws and the regulation, the venom banks, Miami-Dade, Venom 1, this venom bank here, Natural Toxins, it's Nature's Coast, which is an upcoming another venom bank, anti-venom bank that support people that are bitten, that support us. The private sector are the people that keep the snakes in the backyard. They're the hobbyists. They're the folks that start keeping snakes. The commercial sector are the private sector that do breeding and do importation. This support mechanism makes these folks here, the venom production laboratories, viable. Everything from the venom production laboratory goes to independent medical research, pharmaceutical medical research, drug manufacturing companies, pharmaceutical anti-venom manufacturing, university research of all types. Every one of these categories here are for the betterment and drugs helping, snake bite saving for the general public. And ironically in Florida, it was the general public that tried to stop the basic here folks for the private sector from keeping venomous snakes, which would, as you can see, dissolve this whole flow of good stuff happening for the general public. So thankfully, the Fish and Game Commission from Florida still allows this with tighter regulation, tighter security, and escape mechanisms in place that would stop escapes so the general public is not impacted in a negative way.